Right, Michael, I'm going to begin. I mean, this is such a layered role, and I mean, he's got so much history and a kind of this dark undercurrent. He's very flawed, a kind of anti-hero of sorts. It must be so great to get your teeth stuck into a character this nuanced in a kind of blockbuster environment. They're quite rare in some regards.
Yeah, they are, and I was like, when I first read the script, I was speechless and gave Gunn a call and said, dude, this is too good. You know, because it's challenging. It does have those dark undertones that are something's going on, and it's like, yeah, and we find out what. We find out later on in the piece what happened and why, you know.
And can you find it almost kind of harder in some ways to connect to a character on that quite subtle level when you're you're being painted blue, when there's so much green screen and stuff like that? Is it harder to find the character when it's sort of such a, I don't know, grandiose environment, I suppose?
It wasn't an issue. Yeah, it wasn't an issue. That's kind of what I like doing anyway. I like doing the internal work, and so it doesn't matter what physicality, what kind of wardrobe or anything you have on, makeup or anything doesn't concern me.
I mean, because you were blue, obviously, every day. Was it ever just tempting just to go home blue and just come back blue rather than have to go every morning? And
I did forget that it was on quite often, and it didn't bother me. But the whole makeup, the whole removal, is sort of a washing away of all the day's mistakes and everything you do during the day. It sort of cleanses, and then you start afresh the next day.
I mean, you've worked with James now on a few occasions. I mean, have you kind of developed almost a bit of a shorthand now with him as a director? Do you both kind of feel that you really understand what the other wants?
He never understands me at all, you know. Actually, we get along quite well, and he does. He does understand where I'm coming from, and does it. And yeah, there is that shorthand, I think, that happens that occurs once you start getting to know someone more in depth.
Because I mean, obviously you worked with him on his very first feature film, Sliver. Now, obviously, you're working with him today. How have you noticed him develop over time as a director? I mean, because obviously with each project he's been given sort of more tools to tell his story. I mean, how have you found his rise? Because obviously you'll know it better than anyone, I guess.
You know what? He's doing well. I mean, you know, he's one of these guys that he's constantly thinking. I mean, he's constantly got the thing going on in the back of his head, and he's smart, and boy, it came out good, huh? I mean, he's one of these guys that, you know, he's gone way far beyond what most directors do. It's so detailed, from the tiniest little nuance, and that being said, ends up being more open. You know, so he allows the actor to get in and do their thing as well. So it's just very cool.
I mean, the music, obviously, it goes without saying, is so great. And it's more than just a good soundtrack. It's like a plot device as well in both of these movies. And with that in mind, I mean, does he tell you exactly what songs are being playing and exactly what scene? Because does that help you kind of understand the kind of tone of the moment?
Well, he does. And he does it for the tone, you know. And several of the actors like hearing it beforehand and sometimes during. And it was okay. I mean, I tried it a few times, and it was okay. But I don't. I prefer to just go into it without music and stuff. So, but we tried it both ways.
There's a real kind of soulfulness, I think, to your character's kind of dialogue, and I love and particularly the kind of whistle. I was wondering how long it took to perfect that exact kind of sound, because the whistle is such a defining aspect of his character.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And you know, the whistle is a big thing, and I had to actually relearn how to whistle because of the prosthetic teeth, and so it was difficult.
Now you've obviously been involved in the MCU. I mean, do you find that you're now quite well versed in it? Because there's so many interconnecting stories and characters, and this character, if he's in this, it means that's going to be an implication for a later film, and all these kind of things together. Have you got quite a good understanding of that, or do you just very much just appreciate your character and what's on the page in this particular movie?
Yeah, you can't really. For me, I'm not the kind of guy that's thinking about all these other connections and stuff. I'm just worrying about what I have to do for the day, you know.
It's incredible how much people adore these movies, and I think The Guardians, the first film, got a huge kind of reaction. Have you ever noticed anything like that before in your career, to have worked on something that means this much to that many people?
Well, you know what? I just finished The Walking Dead, so yeah, that was a major. That's got a huge major fan base, and they're fanatical, and they're great, and it's always cool to hang out and do Q&As for these people. Same thing with the Marvel fans too, and there's a lot of crossover. So yeah, I've experienced that with mostly The Walking Dead, as far as the volume of fans, and now Marvel, and so yeah, I'm digging it, man. I mean, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're outside hotels, and they're at the airport, and they're wherever you go.
Yeah, there's a few outside this hotel. I don't think they're here to see me, so...
Yeah, they're definitely here outside this hotel, for
If you
sure.
keep your shades on, you'll be all right.
I don't think so. They know who I am already.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.